What's going on, fellas? Fight Day live chat, UFC 263. Nice little pay-per-view that we got coming up tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time start for the prelims, as long as we, knock on wood, don't get any last-minute changes here. Didn't do one last week. Obviously, I was gone to a cottage to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of my wedding with my wife. So obviously I was away on the cottage, didn't have much reception out there. So obviously no Fight Day live chat last week. I know a lot of people were bummed about that. So I'm glad to see that this has become a solid fixture in a lot of people's days on Fight Day. You know what I mean? It means a lot to me that I'm getting this type of support and seeing these many people come out and support your boys. So shout out to everybody that's supporting your boy on a week to week basis. Even if I'm tardy with certain things, I never try to miss anything. And again, this is one of those weeks where it took me a while to get everything together. Had a bunch of shit that I had to deal with on my end, but still no excuse to go out there and not give you guys the content. So I was happy to still provide you guys the content that you guys required. Maybe not as much on the Bellator front, but at least for 263, I was able to do what I was able to do. I will say, since I am on a 3-event winning streak right now, my picks are behind the Patreon paywall. Again, it's only $5 a month, super cheap. Link is in the description below. Make sure you guys go check that out. And I'm hoping to extend it to a 4-event winning streak. That would be 15 out of 17 winning events. I'm hoping that that's what I can extend this to. But yeah, interesting card that we got coming up here. Not a parlayable card, in my opinion. Very tough card. Could be a ton of upsets. I believe, let me just skim through the odds real quick and see how many underdogs I actually picked to win. But there was a handful of underdogs I'm choosing. So I got Vettori, I got Maya, I got and Collier. Actually, wow, only 3 of them. Surprising. I thought it was more than that. I will say though, there are plenty of live dogs though. Like I think that Vittoria is live. I think Moreno is live. I think Maya is live. I think Riddell is live. I think Stewart is live. I think Murphy is live. I think Kawadu is live. I think Davis is live. McKenney is live. I don't think Hooper is that live, to be honest. I think Vendramini is live, and then obviously Collier is live. So right there, 11 out of the 14 dogs, I believe, are live. I'm only picking 3 of them to actually win in terms of my official predictions. But I'm expecting some crazy volatility this weekend, and I'm very much looking forward to it because it should be a fun time. I just heard some weird buzzing in my headphones. If you guys are hearing anything bad in terms of audio, please let me know and I'll try to adjust it on the fly with you guys right now. As always, on the back end of the show, I'll do the totals parlay for you guys. It's always just a fun little parlay. I don't think we've hit one yet since I started doing it in February or so, but we've come damn near close on a couple of them. So I'm just going to keep throwing them out there. Again, I only advise throwing lunch money on it. Nothing crazy. It's just for kicks. It's just for fun. We're just going to be going out there and choosing over unders that we believe have a solid shot of hitting. So again, I'll do that on the back end of the show, though. The majority of the show, for about 50 minutes or so, is going to... All right, it should be good. It actually looked like that it was my my mixer's power was very loose. So my mixer was losing it just now, but I managed to plug it out, plug it back in. It should be good to go now. I apologize if I destroyed anybody's ears here, but please do let me know if it's okay now. I apologize for that. All right. Let's get into the chat section here again. This stream is all for you guys over the next 50 minutes. I'm going to be going over all the chats, comments, questions, and concerns that we have for the show, specifically for 263. So let's try to keep it on topic as much as possible with just talk about UFC 263. Any betting inquiries, DraftKings, Prize Picks, whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about. The show's about you guys. So I'll do my best in terms of keeping up with the live here. So I'm going to pretty much zip through a couple, the first handful of comments that we got here, and then I'll hopefully be able to catch up to the live. Shout out to the 38 people that we currently got in here. I believe I had closer to 50 before my mic started fucking up on me. So hopefully we can get some of those people to come back and show them that it's not a rinky dink show over here. I'm doing my best to give you guys the best quality. All right. Shout out to my guy, Bills Mafia, dropping comments 20 minutes before the stream even starts. He's saying a ton of money coming in on Moreno. And after watching the last fight, if Davison comes out emotional with his hands down like he did last time, it might not be a good night for him, especially at minus 220. My man, that's how Davison fights pretty much every single time. So I don't think that emotional is something that's really going to be crossing his mind here. The guy's a savage. Again, I'm not high on him in this spot. I do think he wins, but the Moreno is definitely the stiffest test that we've seen him fight as of late, outside of Jussier Formiga, who was able to defeat him and only give him his only ever loss. So close fight. He even said he wants to TKO in the first for Moreno talking trash. I mean, it kind of makes me wonder if he's going to blow his wad in the first 2 rounds, chasing a KO, because he did gas a bit last fight. One thing that we have to remember about the last fight, they took that fight on short notice. I mean, they only fought a month earlier and took this fight to kind of save UFC 256. So just keep that in mind for sure. But I think it's going to be a great fun for sure. A great fight for sure. SD Crusader, lots of money on Vettori too. He lost plus 20 in recent hours. Yep. I think he's a live dog here. Mixed partial farts, I'm not surprised by that at all. Vettori is a smart pick, and there will be a whole Italian fan base really wanting him to win. Let's fucking go, mixed partial farts. Shout out to my guy AA. I believe he is one of them Patreon members. Got a great little community going on there. Shout out to everybody that's in the Discord as well. My guy Shawnee Mac. Shout out to my guy Shawnee Mac. Always coming through for the chats. Kane Gomes, good afternoon, my brother. Freddie Freeball, I'm talking about Lamar Odom versus Aaron Carter. I totally forgot that was even happening, and it pretty much went exactly how I thought it would be. Jeff Terry saying, I think I'm going to single bet only this week. No parlays. It's hard to disagree with that. Like I said at the top of the show, I think it's a very tough card to go out there and parlay. Ryan Sweet, all I can say about Adesanya Vettori is last time Adesanya had hate for a fighter, Paulo Costa, he went out and made a point to finish him. Similar situation, different fighter in Vettori, though. I don't like reading into that narrative too much, but again, it could have a little bit of an influence on it, right? I think if Adesanya goes out there and implements that Costa approach, which is calf kicks, if he nullifies the forward movement of Vettori and tries to take the pop off some of his takedown attempts by attacking that calf early, it could have an effect for the majority of the fight, but we'll see how that one plays out. John saying, bet my house on Collier. Please don't bet your house, but I do think he wins. And Cloud, so excited for this card. Going to be good. Yeah, it should be for sure. I see you guys were unfortunately dealing with some of those audio issues, but they should be cleared up by now. So let me just zip through those. All right, good. Everybody's saying sounds good. Thank God. Derek Evlua versus Duado potential for banger of the night worth a sprinkle. I don't think that it'll actually come through as fight of the night. Again, it's the fight that I'm looking forward to the most. I think Riddell versus Dober might be the banger of the night. That's the one that I think that's actually going to steal fight of the night. Moreno Figueiredo could do it as well, but depending on the odds of Evlua versus Duado, maybe a little bit of a sprinkle if it's like plus 1,500 or something like that. My only issue is I think that Evloev will probably make it a grinding, dirty fight by just, trying to wrap up Duado as much as possible. So he might try to slow down the momentum of the fight, which should ultimately not give them the fight of the night honors. BP really ought to pick Maya. I got to do it, man. Finesse God, favorite DK plays. I don't know if you're still doing DFS now. I still submit a couple lineups every now and then. I'm not doing content specifically catered towards DraftKings anymore, obviously, since I'm not doing the show on Salvetri's channel anymore. But I'll give you guys. Let me just quickly look at it real quick. Honestly, I haven't even drafted my teams yet. I'm gonna do that after the stream here. But my favorite plays. Let me just look at the salary ranges here. Uh, Leon Edwards at 9,500 is not too shabby. Now, I don't think he gets the finish here, but I do think that he'll get a bunch of control time, maybe some takedowns, significant strikes. I think he'll be letting up Nate Diaz pretty well here at 9,500, maybe a little bit too wide, considering that there's other spots out here that could probably score just as well and justify their price tag. Oh, I locked out Alfred. Give me. I locked out of Alfred out of the studio. Give me 1 second, fellas. Alfred, say hi. Say hi. Mwah. All right, let me just let him get settled in my lap. I know you guys love some Alfie every now and then. Hurry up, sit your butt down. There he goes. All right, let's get back to topic. So, in terms of DraftKings, I don't mind Edwards. I'll probably have a little bit of Edwards here. Jamal Hill, I think he goes out there and starches Paul Craig pretty easily. So 9,400, not too bad of a line considering we're probably going to get a first round knockout from him here. Adesanya, I'm not so keen on at 9,300. Evloev, again, I think takedowns and control time, he could probably live up to that 9,200 price tag. Figueiredo, 9,100, not too keen on that. Bilal, 9,000, not big on that either. Excuse me. Favola 8,900 could be big. Actually, you know what? Him and McKinney could be big because I'm expecting a finish in that fight. So might want to have a little bit of both guys there. Kianzad going to fade. Carlos Felipe going to fade. Eric Anders. I think that's going to be a slower paced fight than their first fight. So I'll probably be fading that matchup a little bit. Drew Dober versus Brad Riddell. I'm expecting that to go the full 50 minutes, but there is the possibility that we could get a finish. Again, I lean Dober here, so I'll probably have some of him. Peterson, 8,400. I think he's not too bad there. ZM, I'll be fading. Calderwood, I'll probably be fading that matchup as well. Vendramini could absolutely pull off a quick submission. So maybe worth this, a little bit of spots on a couple of your lineups at 7,900. You guys know I like Jake Collier at 7,500. If you guys are looking for a buy low option, somewhat of a buy low option, considering we have at least 4 guys in the $6,000 range, Jay Collier could at least give you some output, maybe some clinch control time, maybe a couple takedowns, but I'm not 100% sure. Alexis Davis, again, if she's successful, takedowns and control time, she might end up breaking the slate at 7,400. Damian Maya, again, another solid underdog. I think that could potentially submit Bilal Muhammad early in this fight. Moreno, solid value at 7,100, especially considering how well of a fight he had last time around with the champ. Vettori, again, a guy I do think is very live. I'm picking him to win takedowns, control time at 6,900. That looks damn good. Terrence McKinney, like I said, could pull off the upset. And yeah, I hope that was a quick little helpful rundown of the draft, what I've been thinking about the DraftKings slate this time around. Evloev by decision, Craig Hill under 2.5, Edwards decision. Milaiki. Good luck, my guy. Sex God, your thoughts on Muhammad inside the distance? I don't think it's a good play, but just wondering. I don't think so. I think if Muhammad wins, it's by decision. You know, Damian Maya, he got stiffed by Gilbert Burns. I don't think Bilal Muhammad hits as hard as Gilbert Burns, and I don't think that Bilal Muhammad is much of a finisher either. I think he's going to need to win this fight over 50 minutes, which is going to be very difficult for him, especially if Damian Maya is able to get some success with the clinch. What are you barking at? What are you barking at? Shout out to my guys that are plugging the Patreon for your boy. I I appreciate that. Harmon Sarai saying, I'm pumped for this massive card. Hope you're doing well. Likewise, my brother. Notorious Picks is on Moreno inside the distance. Possibility, but I do like me some Figueiredo here. James Cord saying, baby assassin and new. Jeremy Wallen asking how did Fig look at the wins. He never looks good. That's the thing. I wouldn't predicate your pick solely on what Figueiredo looked like at the weigh-ins. Never looks good. Jeez, Alfred. I'm not sure if you guys heard that giant ass groan from him. I'll have to take his ass for a walk after the stream, but yeah. Never mind is saying Lachlan Knight, let's get that money. Frank Jodane, Suplock. So which favorites do you think is most likely to shit the bed? I'm thinking Izzy, Jojo, or maybe Frivola. All three of those are viable candidates. Like I said, there's at least 11 live underdogs. I'm only picking 3 of them to win, but there's going to be a ton of guys that are probably going to shin the apple pie this week. So be very careful in terms of how you're constructing your parlays. My guy Freddy171, Hill Craig under 2.5, like it. Diaz Edwards over 1.5, like it. Plus 105. That's not a bad line at all. I do like that. My guy Shabkaran in the chat. Going to be a good night of fights. Bunch of different styles clashing. Exactly. I'm so excited for Evloev versus Duadu. That should be a great fight. Cole is asking how much more hours to the fights. They start in about 5 hours. Irregardless, YT is saying Evloev Duadu over 1.5. I like it. Edwards Diaz over 2.5. I like it. Figgy win. I like it. Izzy win. Not so much on that side. Plus 320. Good luck, my brother. Stefan Militovic is saying Izzy Figs Edwards parlay. What do you think, boss? I'm actually picking Vettori to win, but I do like those other 2 spots. Finn LK is saying Jaime doesn't Bilal have good wrestling will help keep this fight standing? Possibly, but again, we haven't truly seen him tested in that wrestling aspect. Like he has good offensive wrestling, but how does he deal with a guy like Damian Maia, who's going to be the bigger, probably stronger guy? I just have too many question marks. I'm not sure how people are super confident in him at that minus 200 mark. In my opinion, he's just a very good mediocre fighter. And at this point in time, he could possibly beat a 43-year-old Damian Maia. But it wasn't too long ago that Damian Maia was only a minus or a plus 120 underdog to Gilbert Burns. I still think he has a little bit left to give, especially with how good he is with his jiu-jitsu. See Mr. Glover Teixeira, right? These things can happen. And Bilal Muhammad is not like a one-punch knockout power kind of guy. That's the thing. That's why I think he needs to win over 15 minutes, which gives Damian Maia plenty of opportunities to try to get his jiu-jitsu game going. John is saying, how do you feel about Kennedy on DK made out, or I'm assuming that you're talking about McKinney. Worth a shot. I think it's worth a shot. Again, he comes out like a banshee. He could be live for a finish. We've seen Frivola finish in the past. You might want to have a little bit on him because he could definitely be one of those guys lower on the slate that will probably make some big noise. Some solutions saying I prefer wine over beer. Suxcar is saying Edwards has the second best inside the distance prop. I don't understand that. Since when has Leon Edwards been a finisher? If I'm not mistaken, I did the math last night. I'm pretty sure. Actually, let me just do it one more time. He has 3 finishes in the UFC out of 13 fights. Nate Diaz, on the other hand, outside of that cut via stoppage, the only other time that he's been stopped was Josh Thompson by a head kick 8 years ago. Outside of that, Nate Diaz got armbarred by Hermes Franca 15 years ago. He's only ever been stopped 3 times in his career. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Edwards is definitely a huge step up in competition, but Edwards has never been a crazy finisher. Not able to finish Cowboy. What makes you guys think he's going to go out there and finish Nate Diaz, who is still very, very durable at this point in time? Notorious Picks is saying a dog is disgusted with your Vettori pick. I know you're an Izzy fanboy, NP. It's all good. Christian Rodriguez, the parlay I like is Dober money line. I like it. Figgy money line, Craig money line, and Vettori money line. Some big balls there on Craig, but good luck to you, my brother. Plus 2,200 is not too bad. Big Bird PH saying line moving in on Craig, so I don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand it either. And Justin Vegas saying, don't know if you can have your wiener out on YouTube. I love you. Robot Chicken Wings. My guy, what up, Lock? I'm on Baby Assassin and Stylebender. I am on the complete opposite side for both, but not heavy confidence there. So good luck to you if you actually have money on it. MMA experts, my guy, AJ is in the chat. What's going on, brother? Scott Vetter saying top weigh-in takeaways. Figgy gonna figgy. You know what I mean? Don't read too much into that, methinks. Riddell obviously looked a little bad on the scales. Even though Steven Peterson missed by 2.5 pounds, it didn't look like it was to the point where he was really exerting energy and really trying to, kill himself to make the weight. So I don't will see it have much of an impact on him on the in the cage tonight. But outside of that, not much else that really caught my eye. Everybody looked in pretty good shape. Irregardless, saying Myers to submit him. It's possible to submit him, but he's looking too hittable for me in old age. Again, Bilal Muhammad, not a crazy knockout artist. That's why I'm not as sold on Bilal, because if he had more knockout power or if he had more finishing abilities, I'd be a little bit more scared for Maya, but I'm not. Robot Chicken Wings is saying all Bilal has to do is jab Maya's face off and stick and move. For sure. But there's going to be a certain point where Maya's just not going to respect his power. He's going to close the distance. He's going to eat a jab and he's going to push him up against the cage and possibly drag him to the ground. Could happen. Alex Weber. I see my guy was watching that live with Hawani on the IG. Good job on live with Hawani. What's your background with Uriel? He clearly knew you. Yeah, we've been, I don't want to say boys. That's a bit of a stretch. I don't want to toot my own horn that much. But when I was in college over 10 years ago, I used to have a MMA college radio show, and he agreed to come on. I reached out to him when he was still working for MMA fighting, and he was very receptive to it. And he was like, yeah, dude, I'd totally be down. So I do still have the interview somewhere on YouTube, but I did have him on. I was so excited to have him on that I forgot to hit record to archive the show. It was live on the air from the college radio station, but I had to do another thing to archive the shows. And I think it was like about 10 to 15 minutes into the interview, I realized that I wasn't recording. So if you hear the interview, you hear it pick up midway through it. But yeah, since then, I've had his email. I would email him every now and then just to stay in touch, just to stay relevant. And the guy is awesome, man. Like, he gets so much hate from, I believe, the newer school of fans that didn't really see him back in the day when he was in the good graces of the UFC and him and Dana were boys. And, everybody would always look forward to like the post-fight interview with Dana White and Ariel Helwani compared to the post-fight scrum. Dana would give him all the nuggets, would give him all the news. And the guy's a humble dude, man. People can say what they want about him now, but I've known the dude for over 10 years and he's been nothing but good to me. No matter how much he's elevated his career all the way up to ESPN, the guy replies to my emails and my messages within like 2 hours. That's nuts. That's crazy to me for somebody that's, wasn't doing much over the last 10 years in comparison to what he was doing. So yeah, I've hit him up. I had him on my 100th episode as well for my MMA Lockcast back in October, and he helped me break down Khabib versus Gaethje. But yeah, super cool dude. I can't say anything bad about him. And I'm very much looking forward to what his next moves are. And the guy's a full supporter of mine, so I'll always support him no matter what. Ryan Sweet saying, just sign up for the Patreon today. Liking the insight so far on community seems great. If you're not in the Discord yet, please do hop in the Discord. There's a ton of fun things going on in there. So don't miss out on that part, because I believe that brings a lot of value to that $5 a month. DXJC 56 saying Moreno inside the distance, plus 300, goes to decision, no action, popping out to me. Not too bad. But I do think that if he goes to the scorecards, he could still win this. And Cloud betting on Hill versus Craig doesn't go to decision. What do you think? I like it. I know it's chalky, but I think it hits. Irregardless, when you're getting tagged out by Ben Askren in 2019, not good. That was a sloppy stand-up fight between both guys. They both don't have stand-up. Davin PCM, do you ever have a UFC card where you just can't pick a lock of the night? The thing is, I don't want to say I force bets, but that's where I started to implement the 3.5 unit lock of the night bet compared to my 4 unit or 5 unit lock of the night bets. So within my lock of the night bets, I've made tiers. And if you ever see a 3.5 unit lock of the night bet, that's that's me thinking that one, there's already a ton of value on the line. Maybe it's like a minus 130, minus 150. So I don't need to go too greedy and pull 5 units on it. Or it could be one of those cards, like you're saying, where it's a little bit tough to find a lock and then I play. I try to refrain from parlays as much as possible, which is why you'll sometimes see me eat chalk at minus 250. But just like Montana De La Rosa last week, when I see that type of advantage for a certain fighter, I'm gonna hammer it, especially if it's chalk. I believe it's worth eating chalk at times. And my lock in the night method, at least for the past, since I've gone back to it, my old school version, it's been profitable for me. So I want to continue to build on this method and showcase through a track record, which I obviously have had for the last 4 years. That it can be a successful method. People say that you can't win long term if you're just strictly betting chalk, but I'm here to be the square better. I don't give a fuck. Call me a square. I'm cashing tickets and things have been looking good for me, so I'm not complaining whatsoever. Good question though, Dave. Special for MMA. What do you think about Hill versus Craig? Fight doesn't go to decision minus 275. Chalky, but again, with the ill will between them and the finishing ability of both guys, I think that's a solid spot. Robot Chicken Wings, Glover can actually box. My striking is still poor. Glover, correct, he can box, but he is just as hittable, if not more hittable, than Damian Maia. And his chin is definitely way more questionable than Damian Maia's. But I still think that they have the same relative level of jiu-jitsu, but I do think that Maia's is actually better too. Kung Dao Chicken saying odds on Figgy keep dropping. Yep. They see that weigh in and they jump all over it. And I'm not in complete agreement of that. Irregardless, Edwards double chance TKO decision is minus 400, which is still pretty steamed. Yeah, I'd like the decision at plus 165, to be honest. Rick Sanchez, does anyone remember if Figgy spent the night in the hospital last fight? Yeah, good point. DXJC saying crazy theory. Nate Diaz only got knocked out by Josh Thompson because the fight was on 420 and he was high as fuck. Oh, God, I love you. Finn LK, watching from Leeds, England. Loads of UK fighters tonight. Come on, Edwards. I actually have family out there in Leeds, and I did visit Leeds. Well, actually, it's been a long, long time, probably going on 13 or 14 years at this point in time since I've been there. But I do look forward to going back there now as an adult and try to enjoy it better once this COVID thing starts to blow over. But shout out to Leeds. Shout out to my family over there. Fernando Cunha, Peterson versus Hooper prediction. I really like Peterson in this spot. Yeah, I think his jiu-jitsu is good enough to nullify whatever Hooper brings to the table here. And then I think that Peterson obviously has the advantage in the striking. Kung Dao Chicken is Hill versus Craig. Fight doesn't go to decision or lock. Odds are better than a betting Hill straight. I like it. It's probably one of my more confident spots on the card if I were to take that bet. Personally, when I make official plays, I only stick with straight money line on a fighter, parlay, which would only include a fighter or a total. Those are the only bets that I like to put up because that seems to be what is available to most people. And I always want to tip widely available lines and none of these, scarce and fringe lines that not a lot of people have access to. Some people don't have access to fight doesn't go to the decision, which is kind of weird to me. But I gotta cater to the masses, which is why I only bet money lines, totals, or a parlay with including either of those two spots. But yeah, I do like the fight doesn't go to decision. Finesca, Dober plus Calderwood or Hooper plus Peterson for DFS. You're gonna stack Hooper and Peterson. I like Dober Calderwood rather than Hooper Peterson. I might be reading that incorrectly, so please do correct me if that is the case. My guy Kayla G got a couple lunch money plays today. Discord is popping. I'm glad that you guys are definitely knowing. Did you pick Dober or Riddell? I did pick Dober to win that fight, but close fight. Figgy is now minus 185. That is crazy. Severi is saying you can't win long-term eating chalk, but I do enjoy your content. I disagree, but I do definitely need to continue this stretch that I'm on. Again, even at the big favorites, I'm hitting at 83% tracked. 82 or 83% tracked with a 17% ROI. So it's not, winning crazy units every single night, but it's a slow and steady approach. And when you're betting big money, it's going to work out. So I disagree that you can't win long-term eating shock. I do obviously bet underdogs as well too, right? That's always a cherry on top on some of these parts. But yeah, again, just from I needed larger sample size going back to my old school method to prove it. So I'm not going to definitively tell my guy Severi here that it's not possible. But just in my last 16 events alone, going the way that I've been going about it, 14 out of 16 winning events. I believe it's like plus 20 or plus 30 units at that point. I have to get the exact numbers, but it's all on my track record. I believe the link is in my description. Otherwise, just look up MMA LOTN on Bet MMA Tips and you can find it there. Shout out Ryan Grant. Everything. There's just no way to keep taking one overpriced fave and one dog a week and have long-term success. It's been working out for me for the last 4 months or so right now. And again, it worked out for me at the beginning of it. And then I got a little bit too cute. And that's where you guys see the downswing in my record, betting multiple fights. That's just not my style. My official betting style, that's not the way that I profit. I think I'm on the right side here. Everybody has their own style. I mean, I believe it's just as hard picking out a solid favorite. Again, it's not that I'm saying that I'm only looking at minus 200 to minus 300 favorites. That's not what I mean at all. When I do find a solid spot that, is around the minus 150 to up to minus 200 range, I will shoot my shot on that. But I'm always going to try to look for that one big mismatch that I feel like has the least resistance on the card. Nothing worse than minus 300 to minus 350 and continue hammering that. We shall see. Maybe if I catch up to the live trial, I'll give you the exact statistics on my last 16 events taking that approach. And again, obviously, what brought me to the dance and what gave me notoriety first and foremost was that approach. Young Nasty, Parlay, Izzy, Figgy, and Leon will make me rich. I think one of those guys loses, and I think it actually might end up being Israel. Wael Agaban went 5 out of 6 on the Bellator card. Georgian screwed you. Yeah. I was on Pleasy, Jason Jackson, and Aaron Pico as my, not a track play, but just for fun. I didn't have any track plays on Bellator last night, but that's what I went with. And then I had another one that included those three plus Lemminger and Douglas Lima. And then obviously that one fell pretty flat. Mario, Barrel, Peterson, Hill, Edwards, I do like it all. Good luck, my brother. Derek Murphy and Jojo seems like a distance fight. I agree. Murphy seems strong in the clinch, but with Jojo better striking, who you got? I got Jojo. I think she'll be able to stay away from that clinch heavy approach from Murphy, who I do think will be the stronger fighter. Close fight, not a huge amount of confidence in Jojo, but I do think that she wins this fight by outpointing her on the feet. Freddie Freeball, do you think Hooper is in the UFC much longer if he loses today? Yeah, he's what? If he loses today, he'll be 2-2 in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. So they're not going to cut him just off of one loss. Dimitris Bed, McKinney round 1, TKO plus 750, great value on his path to victory. I absolutely agree. Andrew Marchenko, that's my guy right there. My man Locke, what are you thinking about Leon on DK? Too pricey, favorite pay-ups on DK? Thanks. I don't mind Leon again. I think that he wins an overall MMA fight here. He probably cracks that 100 mark. I don't think he gets the finish, but I think he gets enough significant strikes, control time, takedowns to crack that 100-point mark. I think Jamal Hill is great at 9,400. I think he knocks out Paul Craig, relatively easily. I'm torn on the Evloev fight because I think if he wins, it'll be control time and takedowns. So that could be good there. But Duwato is pretty good in terms of nullifying that type of approach from his opponents. But he's never fought anybody like Evloev before. So big question marks there. Other big spots. Yeah, those are really it. Edwards, Hill, Evloev are probably the top 9,000 spots I like. Mixed martial arts thoughts on Leon potentially guessing out versus Nate. Unlikely, but Nate does get better as the fight goes on. I think that the skill discrepancy is so wide that I don't think that it's going to matter. I don't think Leon will gas here. I think he'll fight at his pace, which is get the takedowns if he needs to. Nate Diaz has atrocious takedown defense, and then Leon Edwards is pretty strong from on top, and I think he'll be able to nullify the jiu-jitsu game of Nate Diaz. And yeah, I think he'll try to keep it as safe as possible, which should help him not gas out later in this fight. y'all are stroking me real hard with the Patreon love right now. I really appreciate it. Mixed pressure arts is saying, Lock, I thought you were like 24. You look 24, you get 38 at the same time. I'll be 30 in October. So I'm reaching the dirty 30s very shortly. Tamtum, did you bet Vettori? I bet him, not track though, nothing official, just a little small sprinkle on him. Actually, I lied. I sprinkled him to win by decision. I believe the line was just around that plus 400 mark. Nothing big though. Finesse God meant ZM plus Pearson, not Hooper. I would rather the other one then. I think you said Dober and Calderwood. I'd prefer that one more. My guy, Niklaus West, once again with a $15 donation. Love you, my brother. I appreciate the support and love as always. Dober, like it. Kianzad, like it, but very skeptical about it. And Hill and Edwards, I like those as well. Good luck, but I like those spots. Kung Dao Chicken, any leans or standout for the next fight card? Sure, I'll quickly skim that for you guys. That is the Zambian Ige card, June 19th. Quickly skimming it. I think Davy Grant kind of sticks out as a big favorite. Already has a win over Marlon Vera. He's always overlooked, always a big underdog, and always coming through. This might be a spot where I look to take advantage of him again as a big underdog. Verna Jandiroba minus 155 seems intriguing. I don't mind that. Casey O'Neill plus 100 seems intriguing over Lara Procopio. Shout out to Procopio for catching me as an underdog last time against Molly McCann. Joaquin Silva against Rick Glenn minus 115. I think that's a little intriguing. Matthew Semmelsberger plus 150 against Chaos Williams. I think that's a ridiculous line, and I really like Semmelsberger in that spot. Alexa Kamura minus 250. I think he's a very solid spot as a favorite there. Nikolai Negomarianu, not that good. If you guys remember, he was getting bullied by Saperbeg Safarov, and I definitely think that Kamura is definitely better than that. But got to run the tape still, so early thoughts are definitely Kamura as probably my strongest feel on that card. Oh, it looks like they released the fight doesn't go to decision props too. Let me see if there's any that really catch my eye right off the bat. Yeah, no real spots. Fight goes to decision for Chaos Williams versus Semmelsberger seems interesting at plus 160. If the over under is at 1.5, I'd probably look at the over 1.5 there. Yeah, that's really about it. Hope that helps, my brother. Martial arts fan, Luigi play 100% finish rate. Yeah, I'm picking ZM to win, but not real confidence in that spot. Thomas Evans, Figgy by TKO or scorecards. What's your lean? I think scorecards. Dave, 70% ROI is a hell of a lot better on my stock. I'll give you. So for big favorites on BetMMA.tips, they consider anything worse than minus 180. And in terms of that, let me just pull it up. Big favorites, I'm hitting at 82%, 75 units of profit just off of that at 70% ROI or 17% ROI. So yeah, that's my spot. That's why it's good to have a Bet MMA tips tracking system, just so you can see where you truly thrive and where you are best. I am not good at slight favorites. There are certain spots that I'll hit, but it's definitely my worst spot. Out of big favorites, slight underdogs, and big underdogs, slight favorites is my worst. I try to be too sharp when I'm really not that sharp in terms of betting closely lined fights. I do believe I have great reads, but when I pull the trigger on these closely lined fights, it doesn't work out for me. Minus 70 units on slight favorites, minus 23% ROI on slight favorites. So I'm trying to stay away from that unless I feel very, very strongly about it. And then slight underdogs, plus 17 units for a 14% ROI. Big underdogs, plus 5.32 units for a 10% ROI. I do just want to quickly. So since I've pretty much been going back to my lock of the night style, which is that's beginning of March. Let me just try to do this math real quick for you guys to prove a little bit of a point. Again, you definitely need a larger sample size going with this approach to prove the point. But again, I truly believe that this is where I thrive. I will try to be as quick as possible with this as I can, not to give you guys any dead air or anything like that. Um, Again, this style is not for everybody. I know people want to win tons of money each night, but I've always wanted to get to the point where I can bet $5,000 on my lock of the night play and on a week to week basis be happy with cashing 2 grand or whatever the fuck it is. That's why I started the lock of the night approach. Is I just wanted to make one play. Why try to get crazy and try to find all these crazy spots? Just find that one play that I feel is most that I'm most comfortable with. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, we move on to the next week. That's it. So plus 18 units over the last 16 events. Again, just about 1 unit per event, which I don't mind. That's my approach. It's slow and steady. It's a slow build. Um, Let me just get the ROI on that as well for you guys. And that's including lock of the night bets as well as my dog of the night bets as well. Wish I could just do a quick thing on Bet MMA tips where it'll just let me take a picture or just a little time frame and get the statistics off of that. Unfortunately, I cannot. Like I said, slow and steady approach. So 13% ROI roughly on that. And if that's how it's going to continue to stretch out, I'm fine with that. Slow and steady, baby. That's how we win the race. All right. Jazzy J Dog saying lots of love on Vettori. I really don't get it. Izzy's takedown defense at middleweight is cracked. I think Vettori has done it before. Vettori has definitely done it before. Little behind on the chat, obviously. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm just wondering, what is your biggest betting mistake of all time? Personally, for me, it's trying to be sharper than I truly am. I mean, like I said, when I was just going over the numbers for big favorites, slight underdogs, and big favorites, my weakest spot is my trying to call these closely lined fights. That's not my style. I know there's people that are much better than me in terms of calling those types of fights. That's not me. I can have decent reads on those, but it seems like whenever I pull the trigger and making them official bets, it's never really worked out for me or not worked out for me that well. So I think my biggest betting mistake was veering off the path in terms of what I originally wanted to do with this lock of the night brand. And now, thankfully, I've gotten back to it. And what's my luckiest bet? I gotta say, my luckiest bet was when I had Claudio Silva to beat Danny Roberts, and we got that phantom tap from Danny Roberts. So yeah, I think I was lucky with that one. Robert Chicken Wings Whitaker is going to beat the piss out of Vettori for the belt if Israel loses. I absolutely agree with that. Young Nasty, Israel taking L. You think how he lose? If so, grapple fucking. I think he's going to get grapple fucked for at least 3 out of the 5 rounds. JRS, Leon Edwards, way too big and too strong for Nate. I agree. Dillanara, I know you picked Dober. Do you think he gets a finish going back and forth with him and Anders on DK? I think he wins by decision, to be honest. Regardless, reminding you guys, please do smash that like button. That definitely helps your boy out with what I'm trying to do on this channel. Wael Al-Gaban, do you think Ige wins next week? I do not. But again, I still got to run the tape on it. Oh, seems like I got some audio going on in the background. There we go. Jazzy J Dog is saying Belgium minus 110 is a great way to boost your bankroll before these fights. I think I'm already on Belgium straight at minus 143 a couple days ago. I guess the line has gotten better. Young Nasty, Leon, Jamal, Figueiredo, Parlay, make me rich. I don't mind that. I like it. Jeff Terry saying he just signed up for the Patreon. I appreciate it. If you have, please do make sure you connect to the Discord because that's definitely a huge part of the Patreon. You'll definitely enjoy it. Young Nasty, are you buying Bitcoin dip? I am not. Yeah, I saw what happened in that soccer game. That was pretty bad. Vettori weighed in 211 in his fight against Cesar Ferreira. I think he's definitely a big dude. I think he's still a big dude. Average Joe, Adesanya, Hill, Edwards, Muhammad, Figueiredo, Parlay, who shits the bed. I think it could be either Israel or Bilal. And again, I apologize if I'm skipping some of the comments here. I'm just trying to catch up with the live for you guys. Sky Alexis, who you got tonight? I got Vettori. Chris Grieve, Hakeem has terrible output. I agree. DXJC, speaking of losing slight favorites, no way ZM gets it done today. That boy's going to take it down and cook by Vendramidi. Luigi inside the distance, plus 190, looks kind of solid. I get it. Yeah. I don't know what it is that's putting me on ZM here, but again, easily the fight that I feel least confident about on this card. Dan Goldstein, good morning to you, my brother, as well. Hi from Barcelona, from Elio Design. Let's go, my brother. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh, do we have a troll in here? Let's get rid of them real quick. Andrew Marchenko, how you got such big limits? Bovada limited me to 500 max bet for some markets, but online limited to $100 max bet. My main bookies are Intertops, Intertops, Pinnacle, and Bookmaker. They don't really have crazy limits, but I'm not saying that I'm at $5,000 a bet right now. That's not what I'm doing. I think the biggest bet that I've made is like maybe $3,000. I had, was it last week? Was it last week? I can't recall, but I had like $3,200 spread out over a couple spots. Intertops does limit you for sure, but I'm still able to get down pretty decent money there. When I do get to the point where I want to make $5,000 bets as my lock of the night play, I'll have to spread it out over a couple bookies. I'm not able to do it just on one. But Bookmaker will not limit you. They will not ban you. Same with Pinnacle. They might have limits, but they'll never ban you. There are some websites that will ban you if you continuously win and you keep hitting them for their max. But yeah, so far so good for me in terms of Intertops, Bookmaker, and Pinnacle. Grayson asking about the clown himself. Most of you guys already know how I feel about him. I don't want to continue to give him shine on my channel. Guy's an absolute fraud, scumbag, piece of shit. So that's all you need to know. Just search his name on Twitter. That's all you need to know. Anyway, mixed partial frauds. Did you guys hear about the player collapsing at 3 years? Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. It looks like they suspended the game. I actually had the over 2.5 in that game, tailing my guy Testudo. I guess it's a push if that if that's what happens. Hopefully the guy's all right. I'm not sure if he's actually been able tried to um if they revived him or whatever. If anybody knows an update, please do let me know. Mike, love dice stuff. Y'all think Vettori gets over 2.5 takedowns? I do. Nathan Wybengo is saying Riddell and Hill parlay. I'm actually picking Dober to win, brother. Martial arts fan, sprinkle on Collier straight money line for sure. Even hit that decision prop. I think it's around that plus 300 mark. I think there's some value there. Arlena M is saying Collier. I like it. Vendramini. I'm actually on ZM, but no confidence there. So go ahead. Good luck on Vendramini. Dober. I like it. Anders. I like it. Calderwood. I like it. How did Adesanya look versus Yan? Start to break later in the fight in terms of not being able to stop takedowns. So there's that. Shout out to Orlando, stroking my ego once again with the Patreon. Link is in the description below. Chris Reeve, anyone considering the under 4.5 and Figueiredo Moreno? Moreno took a lot of damage. I think Figueroa will finish him before the under. I think Moreno is durable as fuck, man. I think all three of those 5-round fights go the full 25 minutes. So it's going to be a long main card if I am actually correct in that. Arlen, I'm missing Leon in the distance is my lock of the night. No way Diaz survives 5 rounds of one-sided ass whooping. He's had a lot of one-sided ass whoopings, and he's only ever been finished 3 times in his career. Once by a cut to Masvidal last time, another time by a head kick knockout by Josh Thompson 8 years ago, and then Hermes Franco 15 years ago, who had a ton of experience on him, and that was by submission. So I think people are overlooking Diaz's durability because of that Masvidal fight. And Leon Edwards is not much of a finisher. 3 out of 13 finishes in the UFC. I know there's a big skill discrepancy here, but don't overlook the durability of Mr. Nate Diaz. Big up George. 2015, Nate was in the best shape. Yeah, when he torched or lit up, what's his face? When he lit up Michael Johnson, that was a great fight for him. Bookmaker has absolutely terrible juice on the lines. Just started using them and didn't realize how bad it was. It's mainly due to how reliable they are in terms of not limiting people, not banning people. I don't mind that. I don't mind paying a little extra juice compared to what you might be able to get on other betting websites, especially if you want to have a website that you know you can always be betting on and never be limited by. All right. PSA number 1, if you guys spam the chat, y'all get blocked. Anthony, I might have missed some of the chat, but what's your reasoning behind Vettori? I think he lands takedowns late in this fight, or at least 3 out of the 5 rounds. I think he's big, he's strong, he's durable. I think he'll be able to take the shots that Izzy throws at him, but Izzy does seem to struggle when guys are able to take him down, and he doesn't have much off of his back, and Vettori has already been successful in doing that when they fought the first time. Now he'll have an extra 2 rounds to go out there and cement that once again. Martial arts fan saying just bet Hill straight if you like him. I think bet him by KO is probably the best way to go about it. Cayman Rider saying I would argue Yan is more of a better reactive takedown artist and better timing with strikes and takedowns. Victoria is better at failing a takedown but creating angles for the next takedown. Good little observation there. I just think his durability and his bruising style will allow him to close that distance. I don't think he'll give as much respect to Adesanya this time around that he did the first time. God damn, we have 315 people in the live chat. Shout out to all you guys. If you guys haven't already, please do hit that like and subscribe. That truly does help your boy out. This is easily the most we've ever had on the live stream of this particular one, this Fight Day live chat. So shout out to everybody. All right, I'm just going to start to catch up to the live chat here because there might be a ton of trolling going on. Yeah, see, there we go. Block user. That's always my... Okay, Alfred, it's okay. That's always my worry when I'm behind on a chat that we could get bullshit like that. So Please don't spam the chat, otherwise you will get blocked. David Dean, lock is Alexis Davis live. Yes, I'm picking Kianzad to win, but not with much confidence. Israel Adesanya got taken down 2 times by Vettori last time around when they fought. Uncle Weezy, I'm kind of liking the fight doesn't go to decision on Zia and Vendramini. Has never seen the scorecards and has a 3.5-minute average fight time. If he doesn't get finished early, he might gas. Yeah, that's a hypothetical though, right? We've never seen him go the full 15 minutes. He might have a decent gas tank, but we just haven't seen it, right? So we're making an assumption that he might not have a good gas tank, but I don't mind that angle. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to catch up to the live stream here so we don't have unnecessary bullshit. Michael Nossi is hating a little bit. I don't understand what the hate is for. I don't know how to podcast. Tell me why I'm as successful as I am right now, my brother. Anthony, you must know my boy Saint Line. Of course I know him. I actually used to somewhat manage him way back in the day, like years and years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago when he was still like 3-0 or 4-0. Yeah, if he's actually your boy, tell him Manpreet says what's up from Toronto. He knows what's good. Bukur Florence saying, can we get 100 likes? That would be great if we could definitely get up there. We're at 82 right now. Ooh, good question. I just saw a standard bloke saying, will foul Vic's passing be a significant factor in Izzy's performance, in your opinion? I don't like to read too much into that. I think ultimately it still comes down to styles, how they make the fights. But it's definitely a bit of an energizer for him to go out there and kind of honor his friend that way. But I don't think that will be the deciding factor. Scott Vitter saying Brunson couldn't get a sniff of a takedown, but I think he was 1 of 9. Again, I think that Vettori is much more I think Vettori is much more durable and he closes the distance a little bit better than Brunson too. Brunson might have better takedowns technically, but I do think that Vettori can still muster his way to get some takedowns here. Guilherme, I don't even know how to say your name. I apologize. Hey, Bert, saying love seeing you win the Hawaii game. Yeah, that was fun as fuck. Shout out to Hawaii. Leakster, am I boring as fuck? Good. You don't have to see me anymore. I'm only DXJC saying I'm only watching the ceremony weigh-ins. Damn, man, I was on my son Thick Diaz with the new Cisco look, but damn, that boy Jake Carter looking way bigger. Freddy171, Lachlan, I love your approach to gaining followers. Cody Softic brought me here. Cody is my dude. Cody is my dude. I appreciate the love, my guy. God damn, the chat is lit today. All right, I'm gonna start winding things down here. Let's just see. You guys are crazy in the chat right now. David Dean Locke, is there value on Diaz at plus 400? Personally, I don't think so, man. I find it very difficult to see an angle of how he actually wins this fight. All right. Yes, sir. DXJC saying hit us with that over-under parlay. I'm going to do that for you guys right now. All right. Get your pens and papers ready, people. Like I said, only put a little bit of money on this. This is meant for like a lottery type of stab for the card tonight. I'm just going to give you guys my more the spots I feel comfortable with in terms of over unders on this card. So first and foremost, I'm going to go with the over 2.5 in the Collier and Philippe fight. I'll go with over 2.5 in Kianzad and Davis, over 2.5 in Duwado and Evloev, over 2.5 in Murphy and Calderwood. Man, the rest of these are tough. I'm going to go over 4.5 for Diaz Edwards, over 4.5 for Vettori Adesanya. And I think I'm going to throw in the under 1.5 for Jamal Hill and Paul Craig. So tons of legs for you guys right there. So once again, I'll go through it for you guys. Jake Collier, Carlos Felipe over 2.5. Davis Kianzad over 2.5. Duwadu Evloev over 2.5. Calderwood Murphy over 2.5. Diaz Edwards over 4.5. Vettori Adesanya over 4.5. And then Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill under 1.5. I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle $50 on that. Run for me. And that pays out $1,200 or just under $1,200. So there you go. All right. All right. If you guys haven't already, please do hit that like. I am going to get the hell up on out of here. It kind of sucks because we are already at 300 people in the live chat. Definitely the most we've ever had on a live chat. But I'm glad to see that the love is growing every stream out, and I hope to have just as much love last time around. All right, again, lunch money on that over under parlay. Very risky for sure, but it's fun as fuck. Appreciate you guys checking it out as always. I'll attempt, no promises, but I will attempt to do a lucky late night tonight after the fights. No promises, but I'll try to do it just so we can talk some shit afterwards. So if you guys want to catch me here, I'll probably be doing one maybe an hour or so after the card wraps up. I know it's going to be super late, hence the name Lucky Late Night. But yeah, if you guys want to join me afterwards, that would be great. Again, if you haven't hit that like already, please do. If you guys haven't hit that, subscribe as well. Hit that as well. And if you guys want to support your boy even more, check out the Patreon below. $5 a month. The link is in the description below. We got a great Discord community, and shout out to everybody that we've had a solid amount of signups during the stream as well too. So shout out to you guys. And that's also where you guys are going to be able to find my lock of the night play and my dog of the night play for tonight. So good luck on your best tonight, and I will see you guys maybe tonight for Lucky Late Night. Otherwise, next week for the Chan Sung Jung versus Dan Ige card. All right, good luck, guys.